Okay. So now I'll be taking up uh, what are the other things, okay, the impact of global warming on other things. Okay, it's not only the changes on the atmosphere, on the temperature of the earth, but there are other changes also which comes with um the effects of global warming. Okay, so first I will take rising sea levels. Global warming increases the rate of rise in sea levels and has led to a dramatic increase in the coastal flooding risks. Many small islands like the Maldives face the risk of getting submerged in the near future. So, rising sea level, the water level is increasing. Okay, and there are chances of all these uh, small islands. Submergence of small islands is a huge uh, topic of tension and is a huge topic of concern. Damaging wildlife. Wildfires are uncontrollable fires in wildland areas. Wildfire season is getting longer as temperatures soar. This is the death trap for animals in the wild and for ecosystem in general. So what is this wildfires? You always come to hear that in some forest or the other, it has caught fire. Recently, Amazon, a huge damage was done to the Amazon woods. Okay, and it's all because of this global warming. Okay, the sudden rise in the temperature, it leads to the sudden burning of these woods and woods. Okay, and so this not only disturbs the ecological system, but it also poses a huge issue of deforestation, destruction of forest, and also it poses a huge tension for the animals. Okay, intense heat waves. Periods of dangerously hot weather are occurring more frequently than they did in the past. Globally, extremely warm nights that used to come once in 20 years now occur every 10 years. The 12 warmest years on record have all occurred since 1998. Extreme heat events are responsible for more deaths annually than hurricanes, lightning, tornadoes, floods, and earthquakes combined. So, the rise in the temperature, the heat stroke, the heat waves, the hot temperature, rise in hot temperature, hot air, blowing of hot air, this has increased with the increase in global warming. Okay, and in past years we have seen that how it is increasing its intensity and capacity more and more, and it is more, and it is combined, it is giving more hand and strength to all these tornado than these hurricanes, and then the earthquake. All these are effectively activated because of global warming. Natural calamities. For most people, places, global warming will result in more frequent hot days and fewer cold days. So there is prolonged and more number of heat days when compared to cold nights and days, with the greatest warming occurring over land. Storms, floods, and droughts have become more severe as rain patterns change. Hurricanes have increased in intensity due to warmer ocean surface temperatures. So you can see, children, that because of this global warming, how these sea earthquakes and all these destructive elements that is happening in nature has occurred quickly. Okay, and there is inequality, disparity in the rainfall level also. Global warming is already putting immense pressure on ecosystem. It is putting immense pressure on the ecosystem. Warmer temperatures have already shifted the growing season of plants in many parts of the world. And the way the warmer days are increasing, it is also putting a stop, a small stop, or it is also causing disturbance in the growth of plants. This change in the growing season affects the broader ecosystem. And if suppose the ecological system is disbalanced or your natural ambience is disbalanced, so there will be change in each and everything, not in the human atmosphere, not in the human surrounding, but animals, plants, natural existence, all will be damaged some or the other way. There will be side effects some or the other way. Migrating animals have to start seeing food, food sources earlier. Okay, these migrating birds, they generally have a set pattern, a set season when these birds and animals migrate from one place to another. But with the change in the ecological system, the change in the whole environment, the trends in the migrating system of these birds have also changed. The shift in seasons may already be causing the life cycle of pollinators like bees to be out of sync with flowering plants and trees. And these bees, all these insects who are very much dependent on their pollen grains of the flowers, their system has also become disturbed. Okay, they are also now in a very disturbed condition. This mismatch can limit the ability of both pollinators and the plants to survive and reproducing, avoiding food availability throughout the food chain. And in result, what is happening? Both the plant and these pollinators, they both are having issues. When flowers are blossoming, these bees are not there for the pollination, for the reproduction. So how this, and there is also a continuous change in the food chain system also of these animals and plants. Okay. These unnatural changes in the life cycle of animals may make many animal species extinct in the future. So this very unnatural tendency that is taking place, it may cause a lot of disturbance. Okay, it may totally change the whole pattern of seasons. And also the species that are available. And endangered species face such risks more because of their dwindling numbers. Okay, and these very rare species, their number is also decreasing. Why? Because there is a dwindling, means decreasing level in the whole ecological system. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change estimates that 20 to 30% of the plant and animal species will be at risk of extinction if temperature climb more than 1.5 degrees Celsius to 2.5 degrees Celsius in future. So the effect of global warming has reached to such heights that in near future you will be finding that some species of plant, they have just totally extinguished. Okay, there is no name of it in near future if the temperature goes on rising like this. Okay, the changes to weather and ecosystem will affect people living in low-lying coastal areas the most. People in poorer countries who do not have the resources to adapt to changes in temperature will also be hit hard. Equatorial regions will probably become inhabitable. The tropics will also become too hot for living, with constant threat of floods looming large. People will have to shift to colder areas with soaring global population. Decreasing livable area will be a huge problem in near future. So what it is saying? Okay, in present times, we don't go to live in Siberia. We don't prefer living in Siberia. Do we prefer? No. We don't prefer in and living in those cold areas. Okay. But in near future, in coming times, it will be the situation will be so averse, so devastating, that you will see that people are migrating to colder areas. No one will be living near sea. No one will be willing to live near Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn. All these areas near the equator, all these lands will become inhabitable. In future, if this global warming keeps on increasing and if there is continuous rise in the temperature, you won't be able to get proper space to live. You won't get proper land to live, because everyone will be shifting towards colder areas. And I don't think that the whole world is comprised mostly of colder regions. No. Coastal areas are there, very hot areas are there. So all these areas will become very unbearable for the people to continue living. The future does look pretty bleak if current trends of global warming persist. So the future is looking quite black, dark, uncertain, absurd, if the current trend in the issue of global warming keeps on increasing. Okay. And then, however, there is still time to save our planet, but still we have not reached to the verge of destruction. There is still time where we can fight back, we can revert our situations, where we can adjust ourselves again back to our own situations. But for that, human beings have to do a lot. There is nothing we can do about the greenhouse gases already released in the atmosphere, but we can curb future emissions and save the future generations from the dangerous realities of global warming. No doubt, a lot of destruction, a lot of greenhouse gases all have been released, but there are things that we can work on, and we can preserve this earth from getting destroyed due to global warming. We must significantly reduce the heat trapping emissions we are putting into the atmosphere. Generation of heat is the most important and serious things that to be taken up in or keeping in mind with the current situation of global warming. Okay. So this is all because of the heat. And for that, one has to control the pollution level. Okay, the continuous deforestations which is taking place. Too much use of vehicles on roads, too much then the burning of parali and all these are doing what? They are just increasing the whole atmosphere, the heat that is surrounded our earth. It is increasing more. As individuals, we can help by reducing our personal levels of carbon emission and return back to the pavilion. So what is that? Reduction in the emission of carbon dioxide. Global leaders must come together and collectively form a consensus on reducing national emission. And one person alone cannot do all the things. So it is the responsibility of every people, every individual, all political parties to come together and work on it. Reducing tropical deforestation can significantly lower global warming emissions. The tropical cutting down of trees in tropical areas should be strictly prohibited. It will play an integral role in the long-term solution to global warming, and by stopping the cutting of woods in tropical areas, which will to a great extent will help in curbing the issue of global warming. Certain consequences of global warming are now inevitable. Okay, certain things or the destruction which is being caused due to global warming, now it cannot be removed or eradicated. We have to live with it. Okay. So there are certain things that has already taken place. It's not avoidable. You cannot avoid it. While we work to reduce global warming emissions, we must also prepare for this dangerous new reality. And when we are preparing ourselves on one side, okay, on one side, when we are seeing that, yes, we have to just put a question mark on all these things. And when we are at the verge of taking up things again, okay, so what? We have to work hard on it. The main concern, the main issue is that we have to work hard on it. Okay, we have to work hard on it, so that, and we should also be prepared for the destruction which has already been done there, which has already been done with the destruction of environment. Okay, so in this chapter we have seen how the global warming is causing great hindrance and it is affecting the normal life of individuals. Clear? So with this, I come to an end